Welcome to the 5 Basic Elements of Art. I'm Chris Carter. This is the first class in a series of 5 classes that focuses on the basic elements of art, which are line, shape, value, color, and texture. I refer to the texture as texture pattern. I began by focusing on shape. Shape is the first element that you consider when creating a painting or when working on a painting and making decisions about what's working and what's not working in the painting. There's so many ways to approach painting, and I don't have only one that I use. Sometimes I'm just throwing paint and allowing layers to build up, and I have no idea where it's going until it starts to take on a personality. And then I start to nurture that. And it could be that I'm not deciding about the overall shape until I put in many, many layers. I don't know where it's going. But when it comes down to it, and I start to work on resolving the painting or drawing and making it work well, then I always go back to asking myself the questions about the 5 elements. What are the basic shapes? That's the skeleton of a painting or drawing. That without a strong skeleton, a strong foundation, you can't put the clothes on it. You can't put on the accessories. You can't make it work in the way you want it to work, to communicate what you want to communicate through the painting. And there are times, if I'm out plein air sketching, or if I'm traveling and I'm doing some urban sketching, or just some fun drawings of people I see, I'm not worried about the composition at all. I'm more concerned in capturing the essence. I just heard an animal somewhere wrestling around in the cornfield. Just wanted to make sure that it's not one of the local coyotes or a bear or something else that I don't know. Okay, back to the issue of this art class, which is focused on shape. Now, there are times that I plan it out ahead of time. Like, that's the purpose of thumbnail sketches, which are really, really valuable. I hardly ever take the time to do them. When I do, I'm always glad I did. But to be quite honest, I'm usually too excited about getting on with what I'm doing, and I don't take the time to do the thumbnail. I suggest to everyone that they do, but like I said, I should practice what I preach, and I don't really. So I find that one of the great things about teaching is that it makes me ask how and why I do the things I do. And I realize now that I always check on shape, value, temperature, color, and texture, even though now it's become pretty intuitive. And I didn't do that automatically. Like, when I say intuitive, it doesn't mean that you're born with this ability to do it. It means that you have trained, you have added that tool to your toolbox, and maybe it did come easily to you, but maybe it didn't. And it's just something that you have learned so that now it's an automatic response. And that's what it is for me. If I see, oh, the painting's just not working, I don't know why. Values are great, color is great, but what's wrong? Well, it might be that my overall shapes aren't. Maybe I should mention that the order in which decisions should be made is first, shape. What are your basic shapes in a painting? Second, value. What value? Light, medium, or dark? Okay, or light, mid-tone, and dark. Are each of those shapes going to be? Now, within each of those shapes, let's say it's a dark shape. You have a light dark, a medium dark, and a dark dark. Okay? Within the light shape, you have a light light, a medium light, and a dark light. And within the medium shapes, the mid-tone shapes, you have a light, a medium, and a dark. Okay, so all of those come into play, but if you break them down into just light, medium, or mid-tone, and dark, with those basic shapes, you're good to go. And then the next is not color. Color is the last thing that you decide. The next would be the temperature. Is it going to be a warm hue or a cool hue? And that makes a huge difference. And that's just another magnificent layer in the veils of your painting. If you have decided the value and the temperature of your color, you can pop almost any color or hue into your painting and it will work the way you want it to. And that's where creative color comes in. And you would be shocked at how many colors you never thought would work absolutely beautifully. All right, so I am starting this class. This class begins with a focus on shape. In lesson 1, I'll be presenting the different ways to look at shapes. There's a lot of confusion about what the word or the term shape really means when it comes to art. And I didn't realize this at first until I started teaching. And there were quite a few artists who've been professional artists for many, many years, and they were still confused by what I meant by shape. So I'm going through that and breaking that down for you to be able to look at shapes in different ways and choose your shapes. Then in lesson 2, you're going to choose either a live subject, something where you're looking at the real thing, whether it be a landscape, still life, object, whatever it is, or you can work from a photograph. I don't really care. And you're going to come up with at least 3 options of what your basic shapes for that painting or drawing would be. You're not going to go ahead and do the painting and drawing, not in this class. You're going to decide what your basic shapes will be. Out of the variations that you have, you will pick one, okay? And that's it. So for your project, you will post the variations that you came up with. You will post a photo of what it was, either the photograph that you were working from, or you will post a photo, a snapshot of the real view, object, still life that you worked from. And then you will post the one you've decided for you is the way that you would go, is the structure, is the skeleton of a painting that you would invest the time to go further with, okay? And then you can, in the rest of the series, which will be, one will be on line, one will be on value, one will be on hue or color, and one will be on texture pattern. So in those, you can either move forward with this same subject, project, or you can pick a different one. Chances are you'll pick a different one as you start to acquire more understanding of what it is that I'm presenting here. So I'm very, very excited about this series. And the reason I'm in a cornfield is because I started doing intros early in the year when the corn was really short, just coming up. And this may be my last opportunity to film in this cornfield. This is the one behind my house. The others that I filmed in were next to my house here in New Jersey. And since I haven't been traveling this year due to the COVID pandemic, I'm taking advantage of where I live, and I want to share it with you. So autumn is my favorite time. It's when I was born, and I just wanted to share with you my wonderful cornfield. So this is Chris Carter. Welcome to the 5 basic elements of art. This class focusing on shape.